You're starting to wonder if maybe the version of leadership you've been performing isn't actually leadership at all. I'm going to tell you why. Nice and kind are not the same word. Nice is about you. Kind is about them. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 4 patterns that show up when nice is running your leadership. Pattern 1, the softened feedback sandwich. You wrap the actual message in so much cushion that the message disappears. You start with something positive. You hint at the issue in the middle, gently with a lot of qualifying language, and then you close in with something encouraging. The person leaves the meeting feeling fine. You leave the meeting feeling like you handled it, and in 2 weeks when nothing has changed, you're stunned. They didn't hear it because you didn't say it. Pattern 2, the yes that meant no. Someone asks you for something. You hesitate for half a second. Feel the request landing and watch yourself say yes anyway. Yes to the extra project. Yes to the timeline that you know is too aggressive. Yes to the meeting that should have been a Slack message. Yes to the favor that wasn't actually a favor. Every one of those yeses is going to cost you something later. Your evenings, your weekends, your bandwidth for the work that actually matters. It'll cost your team too, because a leader who can't say no can't protect a team's focus. I said it. Pattern 3, the conflict you managed around. 2 people on your team, they're not getting along. You see it, everyone else sees it, and you're handling it by routing the work around them, reassigning projects so that they don't have to overlap, having 2 one-on-ones instead of a 3-way conversation that actually needs to happen, becoming the translator between them week after week. You think that you're keeping the peace, but you're actually keeping the conflict, just somewhere quieter where it can grow. Pattern 4, the praise that didn't mean anything. You praise everything. Good work. Great job. Love that. Amazing. It feels like building people up. But here's what your team actually has figured out. If everything is great, nothing is great. Praise without specificity stops meaning anything. And when you actually need to recognize someone for extraordinary work, the words you have left in your vocabulary are the same words that you used last Tuesday for a perfectly average Slack response. The currency is spent. Look at the 4 patterns and tell yourself the truth. How many of them are running your leadership right now? It's okay if it's a lot. Most leaders I work with see themselves at least in 3 of the 4, because nice didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of somewhere very specific, which is where we're going next. I remember being a new leader and people would ask me for things. I didn't want to be viewed as someone that they couldn't come to or someone that would always say no. So you know what I did? I said yes, even if it meant that I would be working until 11 o'clock at night. I paid the cost, and I had to learn how to be nice and how to create a boundary for myself. Before we go into why nice is running your leadership, I want to point you to an assessment that I built. It's called Dr. Cara's Leadership Origin Profile. It tells you exactly how you're showing up as a leader right now and where the pattern started. Because the version of you that learned to be nice didn't learn it at your job. It learned it somewhere along the line. The link is in the description. Now let's talk about what nice actually is underneath the surface. Nice isn't actually a generous behavior. It's a self-protective one. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Nice is the fear of rejection. It's just wearing kindness clothes. So when you soften a piece of feedback into nothing, you are not protecting the person that you're talking to. You are protecting yourself. You are protecting yourself from the moment where they don't like you. Sounds familiar to me. I just told you about that story. From the awkwardness of silence after the hard truth, from the very real possibility that they will leave the meeting upset, and actually they might not like you anymore, but that's okay. Nice is a leader prioritizing their own emotional comfort over the other person's growth. And that sentence is pretty uncomfortable, I know, because it's also accurate. Nice is a leader prioritizing their own emotional comfort over the other person's growth. That sentence landed pretty uncomfortable I know because I've been there. It's also accurate. Nice creates the conflict it's trying to avoid, because the message you didn't deliver is clearly still going to need to be delivered, just later with more emotion and more history. You can't pour and pour and pour and pour into a cup and expect it not to overflow. And this is the same thing that happens when someone is doing something that you need to address. When you don't address it, it just grows and grows and grows. The performance problem that you sidestepped at the quarterly review becomes a termination conversation in 9 months. The team's tension you routed around becomes a resignation letter. The yes you said when you meant no becomes a missed deadline, a stretched team, and a resentful you. Every conflict you avoided did not go away. It just compounded interest. Nice teaches your team that you cannot be trusted. And this is the one that no one wants to hear, because trust is critical in psychological safety and team performance. If you praise everyone on a constant basis, they discount your praise because your feedback is always soft. They discount that feedback. Your yes might secretly be no, but they discount your yes because they know you don't want to do it. And once your team has discounted your words, they stop bringing you the real information. They stop telling you what's actually broken. They start managing you instead of working with you. That isn't a respect problem. That's a credibility problem. And you taught it to them yourself. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you make a small withdrawal from your own integrity. Every time you soften the truth, you teach yourself that your truth wasn't important enough to say out loud. Do that for 10 years and look up. You don't know what you are actually thinking anymore. You only know what the room wanted you to say. That isn't leadership burnout. It's identity erosion, and it's the deepest cost of being the nice one. Nice tries to make you palatable to everyone, but your value isn't something that has to be liked. Your value is not externally validated. So when you start trying to be nice, essentially, you're people pleasing. And nice is leaning so far to one side of the leadership tightrope that you will fall off. The opposite of nice isn't harsh. The opposite of nice is clear. And clarity is the most generous thing that you can give to the people you lead. Here are 3 shifts, ordered in a way that builds on the last. Shift 1, pick kindness over niceness. Kindness tells the truth in a way that a person can actually use. Niceness protects the room from the truth. Before your next hard conversation, ask yourself one question. Am I about to be nice, or am I about to be kind? If you describe what you're about to say as soft, gentle, and easing into it, those are nice words. If you describe what you're about to say as honest, direct, specific, those are kind words. Kindness can still be warm. Kindness can still hold the relationship. Kindness just refuses to leave out the truth. Kindness allows you to keep it a buck. Shift 2, name what you're protecting. Every time you feel yourself about to soften, take a beat and pause. Ask yourself, what am I protecting right now? Am I protecting them, or am I protecting myself? If the answer is them, sometimes softening is the right move. A team member who just lost a family member needs softness. A person in the middle of an obvious crisis needs softness. But 90% of the time, what you're actually protecting is your own discomfort with their reaction. And you gotta remember, the greatest opportunity for growth is in discomfort. And when you don't lean into discomfort, that is not leadership. That is self-protection wearing a leader's clothing. Once you can name it, you can stop doing it. Shift 3. Say the one sentence that you've been avoiding. There's one sentence in your leadership right now that you have not been saying. You know what it is. Maybe it's, I'm changing the direction of the project. Perhaps, I need you to take that one more time. Maybe it's, I don't agree with the decision that the team made last week. Or, the work isn't where it needs to be, perhaps it's no. That one sentence is your next assignment. Not in a perfect setting. Not when the timing is exactly right. Not when you rehearsed it 3 times in the shower. This week, the next conversation where it belongs, say it. And then notice what happens. Notice the person didn't fall apart. Notice the conversation didn't end the relationship. That you didn't actually need to soften it to make it survivable. The room can hold the truth. You're the one who's holding it back. Here's what shifts when you stop being nice. When you stop being nice, you become a real person to lead with. Your praise starts to mean something. Your feedback starts to land. Your yes is a real yes, and your no is a real no. And your team stops managing around you. They start bringing you what's actually broken. They finally trust that you can hold it. Nice gets you liked. Kind gets you followed and brings respect. You pick which one you want to be remembered as. If you've already identified the sentence that you've been avoiding, I want to point you to one more thing. It's called Dr. Cara's Virtual Mind. It's me on demand, 24/7, trained on every framework I teach, and it's available the moment you need it. You can describe the conversation you've been postponing, and we'll work through how you can actually have it, especially the version that you're not saying out loud yet. The link is in the description. You lead well. Now lead as yourself. I'm Dr. Cara. Connect to yourself first and then elevate and expand for those you lead. Until we connect again.